Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Densamos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. A very quick announcement. If you're a guy who is trying to heal, you've just awakened from this drama and trauma, so you're trying to heal, I would encourage you to book a session with me, and I would take you through my healing program. But remember that I've told you guys, healing is a choice. So you choose to heal, you know what I mean? Because nobody else is going to heal for you. You are the one who is going to put in the work, because healing is also a part of your assignment. Before you do anything with your life after awakening, I will guarantee you guys that you are going to go through a healing process first of all. So book a session with me, and we shall go through this healing process step by step together. As a black sheep, when you awaken, you're going to realize that you have been right this entire time. As you start looking beyond the veil and behind the veil, when the curtains lift, you're going to discover that actually you have been right this entire time. A lot of the things that you talk about, you used to talk about, or the things that you used to see, you are seeing things for what they are. And we were talking about the truth of what was happening around the family dynamic. But the only problem was that the people that you're dealing with, they are very toxic individuals, and they could not handle the truth. So it's the reason as to why every time you were coming out to say something, or let me say, for example, there was a discussion going on in the family, or there was a project going on, or there was something happening, and you had to speak, is the reason as to why you were never let to speak. Even if you spoke in that time, they would invalidate whatever it is that you had to say. So in other words, they would shut you down and order you to go back and sit your ass down. But you see, there is a secret that is behind your delayed progress in that family. The black sheeps, you are very unique people. You stand out from the crowds. Wherever you are, you stand out. You are the guys who don't want to follow the crowds. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So most of the times, even sometimes you are the outcasts in the family. In most case scenarios, you are even the first ones to leave the family. A lot of times, when you've been in those families, these families, the only thing that is threatening them is your light. So you have got this aura around you, and you've got this energy about you that a lot of family members in your entire family and entire unit do not understand. They cannot really put a finger to it. They don't know what it is, but they have got that inner feeling that you've got something special about you that they do not understand. And that is exactly what actually scares a lot of them. So most of the times, as you was a kid, the only thing what they did, the first thing that they did was to rob you of your essence. I remember back in the days, I remember comments from my family. They were saying that I used to have a very beautiful smile. Very, very beautiful smile. Actually, the entire family knew about this smile. And you see, in that time, as the time evolved, and of course, and as the days went on, as the years went by, I lost my smile. So I was never able to put back that smile exactly and smile the same way that I used to many years ago. So the thing is, what is happening behind closed doors with these families? The parent who is at the top, we're talking about the narcissistic parent. In this case, we're talking about narcissistic family dynamics. Eventually, those parents, their mission was to slow you down. And they had to do this in a very clever way. They had to do this intelligently because they were not supposed to be caught doing this. So most of the things they were doing behind your back, a lot of things they were doing to you, they're the only ones who have got the secret and whatever it is that they did to you. You might have noticed when you was in those families that so many members of your family, they could have been at least a little bit satisfied with their lives. They could have been doing their own projects, running businesses, going to school, finishing their universities, getting their degrees and everything. And for some reason, as a black sheep, you are the one who was always left behind. And you might have always asked yourself a question as to why were you always the one that was always left behind? When everybody else was doing this and doing that and going here and going there, why were you always the one that was left behind? This whole program was crafted very carefully by the narcissistic parent at the top, because those individuals, they know you have got a beautiful light within you, and they know that you've got a beautiful spirit within you, and it is that spirit that is actually making them extremely uncomfortable. So most of the times they have allowed you to slow down while all the other family members, they were prospering in so many things. But the only thing they didn't understand and they couldn't recognize was it was your presence actually in that family that was blessing them. Now, when we're talking about generational curse breakers, we're talking about people who are meant to break certain curses, but at the same time, they are meant to bless a lot of individuals in those units. So if you're seeing them a lot of times prospering, your abundance, your prosperity is going to come at a certain point in time, but your prosperity is delayed because you are supposed to go through some sort of a spiritual awakening. It is only that awakening that is going to remind you of who you are. So you might have had a narcissistic parent, for example, and sometimes you wanted to do a couple of projects. Maybe you could have talked about, Dad, I want to go for my education. Or maybe sometime, let's say you had your siblings, they were going in university, they were going to school. And you might have asked for money or support or even sometimes funding for your projects. Even it could even sometimes have been a business, something as simple as a business. And you could have actually proposed this business to your parents. Okay, this is what I want to do. Can you actually fund my business? Can you lend me some money? Can you do this or can you do that? Can you help me further my education? You could have recognized that the parent that you were dealing with at that moment, that parent, everything that you wanted to put your hand to was always slowed down, and this was always done on purpose. If you have been a person that has been slowed down, everything that you used to touch in those early days, we're talking about the pre-awakening, because post-awakening, these dynamics have changed because you're shifting into a new paradigm. But pre-awakening, a lot of things that have been happening in those families, your setbacks have been done on purpose. So there was a program because of the fact that your light actually intimidated your narcissistic parents at the top. So what they did, they initiated this program secretly. They could have even sometimes done some sacrifices, or sometimes they could have done some special things to you initially, that actually this thing they were meant to shut you down and actually to dim your light further and further into the dark. So in whichever way, shape or form, they did not like you to shine the same way that you were supposed to do. So the reason as to why these narcissistic parents, they normally encourage other family members to move ahead of you is because they want to make you feel like you're the smaller one, you're the lesser one. And you see guys, I want to teach you guys something very important. A lot of times you see a lot of these family members, these brothers and your sisters, a lot of times they may come around and pretend that they support you. Oh, they like you, they support you. Sometimes you will see them, they want to help you with your projects and things like that. The only reason why those individuals are coming around to support you is because you are not doing something that actually is not, you are actually not doing anything that is supposed to make them feel lesser than you. Because you see, in the dysfunctional family unit, the opposite is supposed to happen. They are supposed to grow faster than you, and most of the time they are supposed to do better than you. But on a very spiritual level, they know that should you step fully into your authenticity, they know the things that you're going to do, they are greater than them. So the light that you have, the mission that you have, your purpose on this planet, actually, it was slowed down on purpose. You don't ask yourself a question as to why there's been happening a very important family meeting in that unit. Very, very important. You were not supposed to miss. There was a wedding, there was a birthday, there was a Thanksgiving, there was a, I don't know, initiation ceremony, whatever it is. A lot of families have got different things that they do with themselves. You are the only one missing. Do you know why? That is because they knew, should you show up, you're going to see beyond the BS, and you're going to see the truth for what it is. Whatever it is they may have to say, you may actually oppose. Because remember, like I've told you guys, the black sheeps, they are the ones who have always opposed whatever it is the family had to say or whatever it is they had to do. So you have always stood out, and you've always gone the other way, the different direction. So it is, you might even sometimes have found yourself so many times in your families, you are continuously correcting a lot of people. No, that's not supposed to be done like that. Let's do it like this. That shouldn't go that way. Let's do it like this, because you are actually looking through the BS. You were looking through the illusion. Everything was just a setup. This was like a very big shell of dysfunctional people. You were the only person that saw the truth from day one. In those days, I remember when I woke up from abuse, from a dysfunctional family. I woke up from abuse, and then eventually, a couple of months later, I woke up also from the narcissistic family dynamics. You are going to see family members turning against you. A whole entire meeting of dysfunctional people is going to sit just to talk about you. You may have had a family of 10, 12, 5, I don't know, 15 members, whatever, whichever the number is. You might see the moment you awaken and you exit and you run off away from a dysfunctional family unit, you are going to see the whole entire team. They are going to sit down just to discuss one individual. That is how powerful you are. All sorts of things are going to be said. There will be a lot of smear campaigning. There will be a lot of name calling. They will use all sorts of names when it comes to you. That is because you are the only person with the power. And these individuals, they even sometimes feel your energy. The only way a black sheep is going to burst out of that bubble of failure and rejection from their family units, you're supposed to exit that unit first of all, and you're going to go out there and work on yourself. If you're a black sheep who is trying to heal, take it from me, you are not going to see healing in your life happen when you're still involved with very negative people. It's not going to happen. Your parents, you're going to know the reason as to why they have always hated you from day one. It is because they saw the beauty in you. They saw that spirit in you. They saw that God spirit within you. So most of the times they always wanted you to stay seated in the corner. Whenever you got out of the corner to come and speak, they would scream back at you and go back and sit in the corner. We don't even want to hear what you have to say. Let everybody speak apart from you. They would let everybody take the microphone and the loudspeaker, and everybody would speak whatever it is they wanted to say. You are the only one who's supposed to speak. Because they knew whatever it is you had to say, it was the naked truth. So whatever it is you've been experiencing, black sheeps in those families, those setbacks that you've been seeing along, the things you've been seeing along in your life, in your own personal life, in those families, whatever it is that has been happening, it has been carefully designed to drag you very far away from your authentic self. So you are supposed to stay where you are and sleep. You are not supposed to wake up in whichever way, shape or form. You are supposed to stay where you are and sleep. Because the more authentic you are, the more authentic you become, the more authentic and the more audible you become in that family, is the more exposed they feel. Because you are going to keep on exposing a lot of things that are supposed to be healed in those families. The wrong things and the wrongdoings. You are continuously going to be exposing a lot of things, and that's the reason as to why they have always wanted you and preferred you when you're quiet. They were very happy when you're quiet. And you see one funny thing about these people. They are going to be the first ones to come around when you have a problem. Oh, can we do this and can we do this and can we help you? And what can we do for you and the things like that. But you are only going to notice that those individuals, they are only helping you in cases whereby these things are going to work out for their own benefit. So whatever it is they are doing for you, when they come around and help you and do something for you, one or two things for you, which they have done some of the times, you are going to notice it was only to their own advantage. They were doing this because it was going to benefit them at some point in time. So they were not doing this out of their heart. They were only doing this because they knew if you get somewhere from one point to another, it is going to be of their own benefit. So they were not actually doing it for you. They were actually doing it for themselves. Even if it was a narcissistic parent at the top, they were only helping you because they wanted you to get somewhere so that you can do something for them. So it was not out of pure love, the love that parents have got for their children. It was only done out of selfishness because they wanted you to get somewhere and do them a very big favor. It was only for their own advantage. They were not doing it authentically and out of love. So it's the reason as to why you're seeing a lot of black sheep. They are homeless. You're seeing them most of the times they're out of school. They have been thrown out of school. You're seeing a lot of times they have got failed marriages. You're seeing a lot of black sheep. They are struggling in relationships. It is because the black sheep, you have been into this program, very, very serious dysfunctional program from a very young age, that has been carefully designed by the narcissistic parent at the top, so that this program now could delay you and you actually would be moving in slow motion. So for the black sheep in those families, you were supposed to be moving in slow motion. You are not supposed to achieve anything great before the other family members in that unit. You failed with your studies. You dropped out of school. You are the one with the getting divorced. You are the one who doesn't have a driver's license. You are the one who wasn't finished. It does no matter whatever it is you try to do. You was always dragged back by the people that were supposed to love you and protect you. So they were not supposed to see you happy or prosperous. It was only when it was going to benefit them that they would be able to move you to the next level, because it was going to be of their own benefit. So the reason as to why you see the scales. When you're talking about these dysfunctional families, the scales are different. So you see a lot of these family members, they're up there, you are down there somewhere. That's what always happens. It is only through the awakening, when you go through this spiritual awakening, massive awakening and enlightenment, whereby you're now going to get your authenticity and power back, and you're going to start rising above them. And most of the times, which is a video that is going to come very soon, they are going to see you in a way they have never seen you before. Black sheep, let me tell you something. The moment you have snapped and you have awakened, and you start in discovering all this world that is behind the veil that they have always hidden from you, and all these beautiful things they have always hidden from you, your authentic self, and you're moving to the highest version of yourself, that is when you're going to see those family members. They are going to turn against you in a way that you've never seen before. And it's a shame, because sometimes you see, you can have a lot of these family members, they are doing well, you know what I mean? They may be driving big cars, they could be sleeping comfortably in big mansions, but they are still not satisfied, because they are still feeling empty. There is that thing, that is that emptiness within them, that they know that they have got this emptiness within them. All these things they just bring out to the surface to show, but on the inside, on the very spiritual level, they know that they are empty, and they know that you've got something within you that they do not have, and that is something they want from you. They want that thing what you have within you, but they don't have it. As you start to rise, black sheep, you're going to recognize you have always been the biggest gift in that family. You were brought in that family as a gift. that is when you're going to see the moment you snap and you awaken, you're going to realize that actually you have been the biggest blessing in that family. Everybody has been blessed because of you. So this entire time, they have been feeding off of your energy. And you have been blessing them, even them, without knowing it. You're the one who has been blessing them with all this abundance. But everything in your life, Black Sheep, everything started with a program. It was a very dysfunctional program that was carefully designed by the narcissistic parent at the top to slow you down, put you to sleep, and keep you where you are so that you couldn't shine to become the highest version of yourself. So let me know what you think about this video, guys, in the comment section below. You always know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me, ladies and gentlemen, like I've said in the beginning of this video. Donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you'll find it in the description section below. Like the page, like the video, share and subscribe. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Dysfunctional signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.